In this session, what we're going to have a look at is how to work out some statistical data from the property prices. So we've gone through the CBD and selected our criteria. We've done a search on that and resulted all the different properties. I've taken the maximum price of each property. So if it was, say, 300,000 to 450,000, I've always used the upper property price. If there is no property price listed, I just leave it and move on. And if it's for an auction property, then I don't worry about it as well. I just leave it and move on. So all these prices here are for maximum property prices in the Adelaide CBD, looking at 2 to 3 bedroom with 2 bathrooms and 2 car spaces. At the moment, we can also find out how many there are. So I can actually run a function called count. So we can actually go equals to count, bracket, and then if I click and drag, I can actually get a range. So this will let us know how many there are in the list. So at the moment I have 26 properties. In my search list it actually resulted 30, so obviously 4 of those fall outside of the maximum prices, so they were either auctions or contact provider, etc. So 4 of them weren't able to be used for this assignment. What I want to do at the moment is find the average. Now this average will be the average of all the property prices. So the same way at which we work out a test. So they add them all together and divide it by, in this case, 26. But we're going to use the formula average. And we can select that. And inside here we can select the range. So I'm just going to highlight all the numbers again. And this will actually give me the average property price. So currently, if I turn this into dollar signs, we can format that. I'll do it a little bit later, but we can turn all these into dollar signs. But at the moment, looking at this, it's 877,000 is the average property price in the CBD for a 2-bedroom, 2-car park, 2-bathroom sort of place. So some of these properties will be 2-bedroom only, some will be 3-bedroom. So it gives you an idea. We can also find the minimum one, which is the cheapest. So if we run the function minimum, so min, bracket, and highlight the range again. This will find us the cheapest property that's in there, which is 515,000 is the cheapest one. And he, I just saw him a second ago, is right here. So that's the cheapest property value. And we can also find the most expensive one as well by use equals max, bracket, and highlight the range as well. So what this has done for us now is we know how many properties there are, what the average is, the minimum and the maximum for the CBD. This, if we do this same process for north, east, south, west, we can then do some comparison and find out which is the cheapest sort of area to work in, what is the difference between them, how much money, like if you bought south of the city, it could be X amount of dollars. If you bought north of the city, it could be cheaper to buy north of the city. You could compare the difference between west of the city and south of the city and east of the city to work out which is the sort of cheapest property. We can generate information from the data to actually discuss in the assignment. Some of the harder ones to find is the median. This is the middle value. To do that, we need to actually put these in rank order. So we need to sort these. So to sort them, you actually select it, and there is a little like a filter. If we click on that filter, we can actually sort by cell value. And hang on, not that one there. We need to, A to Z, sorry, not the little filter one. Continue with the current selection, sort, and that's now put them all in order for me. And what I'm trying to find is the middle value. So because there's the 26, it's going to be halfway between the, it's going to be half of that, so we need to go down 13 values. So it's going to be the 13th and the 14th value. So if I start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 and the 14th value, if you've got an odd number, it's really easy. It's always going to be the odd number, but it's halfway between those two. To solve that, so I need the 18th and 19th row. It's really easy. I can go, it's equal to the 18th value, it's the 18th value, plus the 19th value, divided by 2. So you can see the formula here. So When you've got an even amount, you have to do the lower and the upper, add them together and divide it by 2. This then tells me that the median value price in the area is actually in the vicinity of well, it shouldn't be that high. Something's gone wrong with my formula here. I've got to use brackets. So my maths rules come into play. So bracket those together and then divide by 2. Otherwise it does the division first and then does the addition later. So my average price, or my median price, is actually 827,500. Mode is the most occurring. So when I'm going through, I need to find out how many there are. There are only one of those. There are 2 of those. So sometimes I go through in the second column and just do this. 1, 1, 1. There's lots of 1s here. It's 2 of those ones. So the more numbers you have, the harder it is. So at the moment there are 2 that I have. So either 545,000 is one of them, and the other one is actually occurring 850,000. Okay, and we'll discuss the mode in class as well. So that's how we can get this data at the moment. So you need to do this for north, east, south and west.